Hello everybody, good evening, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge and I hope you're all doing really well. We're excited for this one. It's Real Madrid against Bayern Munich and we're good to go here and I'm very excited about it as well. I don't sound it, but I am. I didn't know whether it was live or not. Let's get ready to rumble on this. Manchester United are not playing. I've just been on the... I hate it when I start a stream and I've got verbal diarrhea. Yeah, we're live and it's Real Madrid against Bayern Munich for a place in the Champions League semi-final. I don't really know if that... Yeah, it's a bit weird what we've got with the colour scheme on the stats carousel. Let me just make sure we've got that right. Yeah, Real Madrid and Bayern. I don't know why they're in slightly different colours there, but that's how it's looking. And we're ready to go. Two very big teams. Why is this still... Fucking ridiculous. Makes me so bloody angry. Right, I won't tell you what it is, but yeah, it's pissing me off, to be honest. Right. OCD bridge. OCD bridge. That's what it is. Right, we're ready to go here. Thomas Tuchel, I hope you get smacked up. I hope you get bantered. I hope Don Ancelotti delivers a right beating here. I'm Vinicius Jr. and Birmingham and Bellingham from Birmingham City. And we're up and running. And I've not even... oh, for fuck's sake, man. Oh, I'm really fucking... I'm going to be throwing a chair again in a minute. I'm really not happy about things. Yeah, I think Real Madrid are going to win this quite comfortably. But Nathan says, come on, Bayern. 3-0 Bayern. I mean, they ain't got a bloody chance. Don't know what you're talking about. They did very well not to get beat in Munich. They're going to absolutely get pumped here. If I know football like I think I know, Real Madrid are going to batter them. Absolutely batter them. Let me just get this timer right. There we go. Yeah, perfect. What's the most you've ever benched press, Marks? As Mason, I don't do any of that shit. I'm a 90s kid. We grew up with Liam Gallagher and Damon Albarn. They had arms like bloody breadsticks. It wasn't about going down the gym when I was growing up, and I couldn't give a shit about it, and I'm not starting now. It doesn't rock my boat. Well done. Every generation has a different thing. When I was 9, we used to like wearing shell suits. If you want to go down the gym and bench press and that makes you think you're a big man, crack on. It's nothing to do with being fit, Amy. I'm fitter than you. You'll see in these bloody... I'm actually very happy with my weight and fitness. I just don't do bench. I don't do bench presses. I'm not interested in it. I never have been. For mine, you know, I can still cut it with the best of them in a footballing sense. I'm not interested in all that. Well done if you are. I'm not knocking it. Well done. If going down the gym and lifting weights makes you feel like a... You know, it makes you feel good. Crack on. Now people think I'm going to be I'm being sarcastic about people who do weights. I'm not. I've got friends who do it. They're obsessed by it. They eat cottage cheese and everything, but not for me. I don't even like the gym. I'd rather do my own thing. I can't stand the gym. What's the most you've ever... Yeah, so yeah, Mason, not interested in that. Each to their own. Look, some people like eating takeaways every day. They're not bothered. Stop body shaming people. I hate cottage cheese, Gems. Ugh. He used to be at work and he'd have Ribena and cottage cheese every day. And he had one of those books by Arnie about weightlifting. And he used to sit there on his lunch break eating this book by Arnie, eating Ribena and cottage cheese, and then he'd have protein shakes as well. Nothing wrong with it. Are you allergic to any food, says Dougie. It's funny you should say that. I just finished the United Stand show. I got a massive cramp in my left side, and then my stomach was like, blah, 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 and I thought, this is only going to end up one way. And I can't think what it is I've eaten. What have I eaten today? I've had a chicken Caesar salad with anchovies, and that was lettuce and a dressing. And then I had salmon, courgettes, roasted courgettes, avocado, and a bit of tomato. I can't think any of those things would disagree with me. Could be the anchovies. It'd be the anchovies, says Ryan. There you go. Thank you very much. I don't eat them very often, so it could be that. Why would it be them? Why would it be them? No, I don't think it is the tomatoes, Grace, because I eat them a lot, and I eat avocado a lot, and it will be the anchovies or it will be the courgettes. Kim benched. Do you rate him at all anymore? Says HC. What does he bench? Oh, on the bench. I thought we were talking about Kim goes to the gym. Do you rate him anymore? That was weird. No, I do rate him. I do rate him. I mean, look, it's funny, isn't it? You know, Kim Min-jae at Napoli was fantastic. At Bayern Munich, it's not worked out. De Ligt at Ajax was fantastic. At Juventus and Bayern Munich, it's not worked out. Like, it does happen. Give us some examples in the chat of players that looked amazing at one club, but they moved to another and they're not very good. And don't say Pepe to Arsenal, because he was playing in the French league. I mean, Napoli won the league with Kim Min-jae. They probably should have done better in the Champions League. Bayern had a bit of a chance on the break there. I've just realised, actually, the team news is going round for you, but I haven't read the team news out for you. Let me give it for you. So we've had 5 minutes here, and the team news is as follows. Oh, fucking hell. Why do I bother? They actually haven't put the team news on the BBC. Fucking hell. Why am I paying my... Why do I pay? Why do I pay my tax for the BBC? They can't even put the team news up. I'll find it, don't worry. I'll go to Google. They won't let me down. So, we've got Lunin, Carvajal, Rudiger, Nacho and Mendy at the back for Real Madrid. Valverde, Tchouaméni, Kroos and Bellingham, Rodrigo and Vinicius Jr., which means that Militao, Modric, Camavinga, all on the bench for Real Madrid. Bayern Munich, Neuer, Kimmich, De Ligt, Dyer, Mazraoui, Pavlovic, Lema, Musiala, Sani, Gnabry and Kane, which means on their bench you've got Upamecano. I forgot they had Upamecano. Bloody hell, they've got some bloody good players. How have they not won the league? Tuchel must be really crap. How do you not win the league when you've got a bench like this? Upamecano, Kim Min-jae, Goretzka, Alphonso Davies, Muller. They've just got an absolute array of talent. It's incredible to me. I have IBS and I struggle to find food that works, says Grace. Yeah, it must be very difficult. Here's Musiala. Nice ball. Oh, my God. Why didn't he shoot? Chance of the game there for Gnabry. Musiala slips him in. You know what he should have done there? Instead of trying to do some cross with his left foot, he should have used his right foot and bent it in the bottom corner. Lovely ball. No, actually, I don't think he could have got his right foot on it. But he should have had a shot. Onana good at Inter Milan and not good at United. Good one. Rate these from least to most Prattish. Neville, Carragher, Owen, Gabby, Merson. Also, can we get it's about the structure and the players from Carragher? It's about when I look at that Manchester United side, it's about the structure, it's about the players. I haven't done Carragher for ages, and I wasn't particularly good at it. If we're ranking those 5 on ability to talk sense, I would say Merson's at the bottom. I would say Owen is second bottom. Bonglahor third. You know, Gary Neville or Carragher's a tough one. I actually think Carragher, up until... I think it's close between Carragher and Neville. I really do. Who would I say is the better pundit? Well, I'll go with Neville, but that's only because it's Liverpool Man United. That was from Goldio, by the way. Favourite Stone Roses tune, Marky, says Joel. Made of Stone. Political says, did City have any classic games last year like Man United 99? Tell me, I don't know. I didn't spend a lot of time watching them, really. I certainly wouldn't have enjoyed it. So I can't really say that. I don't think I could sit and say that any Man City game was a classic because I just don't like them. So, how's John, your neighbour? No update in a while. I haven't seen him in ages, Logan. I haven't seen him in ages, actually. William says, my mum's better than Anana. Sorry. I don't do a lot of moderating, but you know who you are. And you lasted about 2 seconds, which is probably about how long you'd last with any woman or man that you decided to go with, really, because you sound like a complete tit. Made of Stone, what a tune, says Lee Berman. Rest in peace, The Fly, 1 week on. That was a weird time. Bayern have started off all right, to be fair. The Bundesliga. Logan says, I hope John's not dead. I haven't heard anything. I think I would have got invited to the funeral. They probably would have asked me to do a eulogy. The last I heard, he was back with his wife. His wife left him. It was obvious she was going to leave him. He bought this new car. Basically retired quite early. And he was John's very materialistic anyway. And he bought this car. And he was forever washing it. Because he just wanted people to walk past and say it's a nice car. I purposely used to walk past and not say anything about his car. Even when he first bought it, I never said anything. And he had to say, what do you think of my car? And I went, oh, I didn't even notice it was any different. He said, it's a red sports car. I used to drive a blue SUV. I went, I didn't notice. I did notice. I just didn't want to give him the satisfaction. But anyway, his wife left him and he was really shocked about it. And I never said anything because it's not my place. But it was very obvious that his wife was scouting because she used to wash the car as well. But she'd do it in like hot pants and a skimpy top. Which would be fine, but it was the middle of November. Poor old John. But he was very materialistic. He bought a dog, and I said to him one time, I bet you don't even know the name of that dog. You're just doing it so you can walk around and talk to people and tell everybody about your wealth. They got rid of the dog after about 3 months. Thoughts on the Delo Wan-Bissaka injuries today? You're talking out your arse here. Not falling for that. I'd know it before you. Nice play down the wing, but Eric Dyer's there, playing at centre-back ahead of Kim Min-jae and Upamecano. I mean, is that not a worry for Man United fans who want Thomas Tuchel? He likes Eric Dyer. 1-0. Oh, he's at the post. What a save by Neuer. I think it might have been offside anyway. Vinicius Jr. hits the post. And then he hits it straight at Neuer. There might have been an offside anyway, but or the ball went out or something. Oh, there was 2 balls on the pitch. Jeffrey says, your sense of humour is top notch. Thanks, pal. There's a big chance for Real Madrid. Ultimate Boy Racer, Vauxhall Nova or Citroen Saxo. I liked the Vauxhall Nova. My mate, LFC Gamer, my mate had a brown Vauxhall Nova. I bloody loved it. It's dangerous though. You know what? Dangerous. We used to. There was this pub in Gampston. I can't remember if any. Well, there's always somebody somewhere close by. I went to Two Till Comprehensive in Bingham, and about 2 miles away on the River Trent is Gampston. There was this lovely pub on the River Trent, and in the summer everybody would go there, and it would be full of talent, if you know what I mean. And we used to go there, but my mate used to drive us there, but as the driver you weren't meant to drink. And the way he used to drive back, I mean, I'm not saying he was drink driving, but you know, it's dangerous, isn't it? I genuinely don't know whether he was, because I wasn't interested in what he was doing in the pub. I was doing something else, but I definitely had a few. And you'd be driving back listening to Oasis. He'd be going really fast. It's dangerous. Drive carefully when you're young, or you might stay young forever. Shoots wide from Vinicius. Mrs. Stone says, how did Eric Dyer get so good? He didn't. Don't fall for it. Jim, I can't say that about Luckhurst. It sounds that's hard. I'm not going to say that. Escort XR3i. What was the Fiesta? Was it an XR2i? That was fast. That was fast. My brother-in-law had a Fiesta, but it was one of the newer models. You know when they brought out the Focus, there was a Fiesta model. I can't remember what it was. It was fast and it was in metallic. It was like a metallic midnight blue, and it was so fast. Cosworth. My stepdad had a Cosworth. Yeah. My dad had a red Capri Laser in the 80s, in the late 80s. Oh, that was lovely. The steering wheel on that. Oh, I used to love the Capri. It was a red Capri Laser. It was bloody lovely. Yeah, Cosworth, XR3i. When I was a kid, I used to want an Escort XR3i. I used to count them when we used to go out on a drive. I have a parlay on Bayern for Champions League and Man City Premier League to win $500. Here they go. And Real Madrid have defended that well. BS wants Harry Kane to score. Vauxhall Carlton. I think my granddad had one of those. I don't think they were very fast. No, he didn't. He had a Granada. he had a Ford. Was it a Ford Granada? Yeah. I used to like the Cavaliers. Yeah. Not as good as a Capri. Good play by Bellingham. Oh, blocked. Got excited there. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Are you going to be playing EAFC 25? I don't know, Jack. I've got to finish my bloody EAFC 24 career mode. I mean, that sort of tells you the way that game's gone. Have you watched the Euro 2020 final doc on Netflix, says Mason? No. Is it good? Good play by Rodrigo. No look pass. No look. There's a lot of car people in here. I'm not really a car person. My dream car has always been a Porsche. Always. I don't even know if they're very good anymore. Not very reliable. Well, it's not really why I'm buying it. Always wanted a Porsche. Don't know why. Mark, work has been kicking my butt. How do you manage work stress, says Constantine? Yeah, you know what? If I get stressed, I just do something I enjoy. You've got to take your mind off it. Go and kick a ball about in your garden. Put on a film that you like. Go down the pub. Order yourself a takeaway. Stress will kill you if you keep thinking about the stress that's bothering you. I was talking about this on Twitter earlier. Someone said, I replied to your Tuchel tweet. Go and read it. And I was like, no, I'm not reading it, because whilst trying to find your reply, there'll be some abuse in there that I don't need to put into my head. Mark's acting like he couldn't afford a Porsche if he wanted one. I think we could all afford a Porsche. You could get a loan to get a Porsche. Logan says, what about a wank? If it makes you happy, Logan. I mean, look, we're not... Dan says, the Porsche is one of the most reliable brands out there. They have huge experience and reputation in Le Mans 24 hours and endurance racing scene. A lot of people have these SUV Porsches, don't they? I don't want one of them. How have you been lately, Mark? All good? This is Universal. Yeah, fine, mate. Fine. You get used to the shit. It's every week. There's always something. It's like when I spoke about on the podcast about this letter. Now people are saying I set it all up. So that means I've got multiple Man City burner accounts now. Apparently the whole letter thing has been caused by me. Yeah. I don't know why. I'm just going to focus on football from now on. Mark, predictions in now before the scoreline opens. I'm going to go Real Madrid 3-0. Ashen. Enjoying Clarkson's Farm, Mark. What episode are you on? I've done all 4. There's another 4 coming out though, isn't there? There's some good stuff out at the moment. Gavin and Stacey are doing a Christmas one as well. Looking forward to that. Dodge Challenger or Ford Mustang, says Tanishk. Fancy car or fancy house, says Jacko. I'd go for the house. Yeah, I'd go for the house. Danny on the Gas says, do they have muscle cars in the UK? I don't know. JM says, if Tuchel wins the Champions League this year and becomes a guy who's reached the final 3 times and won 2, do you think it changes the current perception of him? Says JM. He's not going to win the Champions League, mate. He's not going to beat Real Madrid. Subaru Impreza or Mitsubishi Evo, says Nagash. And what do you think about electric cars like the Tesla, says Mrs. Stone? I personally don't think they're going to be the next big thing. I think there's a new technology that's going to come out that's going to be far more economical than electric. Could be hydrogen. Apparently Tuchel have coached 4 games at the Bernabeu, 3 draws and a win. Will Ancelotti give him the first loss tonight? Oh, God. The cramp. It keeps hitting me every 20 minutes. It's going to come down. Literally. Right across the top of my groin there. Cramp. Why would it be the anchovies? Tell me. Oh, mother God. I hate this. You'll start hearing the effects in a minute. I just heard a little bit then. Am I on my period, says Kevin. It's worse than that. Not that I know what that's like. I watched Life on Mars yet. What's the fastest you've been in a car? Mate, if I told you... No, I'm not selling you. The fastest I've been is 70 miles an hour in a 70 and 30 in a 30. And that's it. Your maturity rise over the years of me being a United stand fan has impressed me. Ignore the haters. You're doing great, says Stuart Wallace. Thank you very much. Here they go. Rodrigo needs a cut back. It's not a very good... Well, it's not a good control by Vinicius. Enjoying the watch along as always, says James. Thanks for tuning in, James. I see you've got a Man City Sean Gota. Is that Sean Gota? Avi there? Did you get tested for hernia regularly, says Mrs. Stone. No, it's not a bloody hernia, Mrs. Stone. It's bloody something I've ate. I know what that feels like. Mark, please get your brain checked. I'm worried. As per Erik ten Hag, who got United worst season, great manager, and Tuchel has Bayern in the Champions League is bad. So much for ten Hag, says Sandy. Mate, Tuchel has failed to win the Champions League with the best car by a long way. Did you watch Saltburn, Mark? Says Goldio. No, I'm not watching that. To be fair, you did also say there's no way both City and Arsenal go out. I reckon Bayern have got a shot here, says Esto. Who's your favourite in Clarkson's Farm, says Victor? Gerald. Although he's not been in it, has he? Universal Soldier says, my brother had anchovies and he got kidney stones the next day. He's about your age. Great. I'm definitely going to think I'm getting kidney stones now. Who's winning the Championship playoffs, Mark, says Tom? I think Southampton. I think Leeds might have just... run out of time a little bit. God. I'm Ronnie Pickering, says Prajit. Bellingham. Good ball out wide from Bellingham. Valverde. Little pass, not good enough. They're queuing up though. You got to go and win that second ball. Play on, says the ref. Physicality. Foul. Evening, Mark, says Jack D. Thanks very much for your super chats tonight, by the way. Please show us the score. It's this thing here that says 0-0 on it, mate. Actually, you know what? Nobody's noticed it. This is the first time I've had my wedding ring on in 6 months. I haven't been wearing that for 6 months. The ladies have been getting excited, but I'm officially off the market. No, you know what? I've always been married, but I haven't worn my wedding ring for 6 months because I was doing a goalkeeper challenge with Ben Foster last season and basically broke 3 of my fingers. And they've been that swollen for 6 months that they're only just starting to get a little bit better. Remember I was on about it before Christmas. I couldn't move my fingers properly. I never went to the doctors about it, so I've self-healed. And it's only in the last week I've been able to get it on. It's true what they say. Time's a great healer. Grief and finger injuries. Donny Bravo says, has anyone ever told you that your breath stinks, or have you ever told anyone? Yes, Donny, unfortunately, I've told this story before. There's an injury to Nabry here. I'm ashamed to say I got kicked out of an English class when I was 15 because I'd been talking a lot and the teacher tried to humiliate me in front of the class, which was his right as the teacher. And he came right over to me and he started basically insinuating I was stupid. And I just said, have you had a coffee? Or because your breath smells of shit. And the whole class laughed and I got kicked out. I don't know who's in the right or the wrong there, really. He was trying to make me look stupid, so... Has anyone ever... so I've done that one. You owe us an Ancelotti banter, Mark, says Alex. And Mrs. Stone says, Tuchel is driving a Ferrari. Erik ten Hag is driving a go-kart with cycle tyres because the actual tyres are cowards and don't want to race. And I recently bought a Mazda 3 as my first car. Do you like those cars? Joel, if I remember rightly, you used to have the Mazda 323, the Mazda 626, and the Mazda 929. A snail can sleep for 3 years straight, says Fraser. I don't know why I laughed. Either or, Bellingham or Foden, says Fraser. I will whack that in as the first good suggestion we've had for a poll tonight. Vinicius goes for an overhead kick. Doesn't even connect. Would you prefer conference or no Europe, says Jack? I mean, I don't want to be in the Conference League at all, but I'd take it over no Europe because it's a little bit of money, isn't it? Will you support Tuchel if he wins the Champions League for United? I'll support him if he gets the job, full stop. Oh my God. Harry Kane, great volley there. And has he got a corner from that? The technique on this from Harry Kane on the edge of the box. Really high. Oh, I tell you what, that's a corner, that is. Lovely technique by Harry Kane. And he has got a corner. Booty eaters. Okay. First date tips, advice, says Josh. I've given this before. On your first date, the thing is eye contact, not too much that they think you're weird. Let them talk about themselves and listen. An Arsenal fan channel has called you out, Mark. I'm not interested, mate. Not interested. I've played the game. I don't know where it comes from. I don't understand it. It's been going on for years. I've got no issue with anybody. It's part of the game, isn't it? What do you think about Clarkson's farm? We farm, and I think it's the most realistic look at farming there is. Not like those other shows on TV, says Ryan. Well, I don't really think about the farming, but it is interesting. Just wanted to say thank you for all you do. Going through a tough mental stage at the minute. Your videos are really helping, says Jack D. Thanks, pal. I hope you're doing well. And you're very welcome on this fantastic community. Ali says, what players would you keep and sell at United? I'm not doing that, mate. We're watching a Real Madrid Bayern Munich Champions League semi-final, and it's not turning into the United stand. Do you care who wins the Champions League, Mark, says Jamie? Not really. It's weird to say I'd like Real Madrid to win it when they've won it so many times, but I like Vinicius Jr. and I like Jude Bellingham. So I think I would go for them. I really like Dortmund. I think they've got some fantastic players. And Bayern Munich, I've got nothing against Harry Kane. I'd rather Dortmund win it than Bayern. And I'd rather Real Madrid won it all. But they've won it so many times, haven't they? Response or walking the beat, says Logan. Rodrigo. Real Madrid having a bit of possession here. Half an hour gone already. Could go to extra time. Yeah, well, if Real Madrid win the Champions League, then I think Bellingham's got a great chance of winning the Ballon d'Or. Although, has he? Maybe it could be Vinicius Jr. Terrible pass, that. Ooh, you've got to get on your toes, but Sane won't get that. Stop supporting United and start supporting Stoke, or you'll hear from my solicitors, Anglo-Saxon. Great podcast, Mark, says Nick. Thank you, everybody who's getting involved with the podcast, by the way. It's growing organically. Keep spreading the word. Goldbridge Saves Football with me and Will. We do upload the video as well, so you can check that out on the homepage. Mally says, tips for coming back from an injury as a footballer. Mate, I never really had a long-term injury, touch wood. I never did. So I had shin splints, but I was still able to play. But I know people who've had injuries. I know, my family members have had like cruciate ligaments and things like that. I think the most important thing is just to do the rehab and take the expert advice. Don't rush yourself back. Good cross into the box, headed away. Rodrigo. Good play again. Shouldn't be shooting from there though. Bit of a waste. Would you support Southgate as Man United manager or be Southgate out from day one? This is the thing. I don't ever want to be that person, but I can't stand the thought of him being Man United manager. I've said it on the United stand earlier. If he was the manager of your club, if Arteta left and they got Southgate, how would you feel? If they replaced Klopp with Southgate, how would you feel? Like, it's not exclusive to Man United. It's a horrific imagination that could become a reality. And if he became Man United manager, I just hate it. I absolutely hate it. Richard says, you were all I watched through lockdown. Absolute legend. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. Jim's going through a complicated breakup at the minute. A-levels exams start in less than 2 weeks. Streams have really helped. Keep up hope and you're well, says Jim. Well, look, great thing that you've got your A-levels to focus on, because they're something that's going to stand you instead for the rest of your life. That relationship, if you break it up, will just be, you know, a drop stitch in life's tapestry. Best concert you've ever been to, says Mason. Take that at Crow Park. Robbie Williams was there. No, I'm joking. I was there, but best concert I've ever been to. Probably U2 at Slane Castle. Yeah, they were good. What's your most go-to life hack, says Mrs. Stone. Give me an example of what a life hack is and I'll tell you what my number one is. Have you ever been to Disney World, says Booty? No. Bayern Munich are definitely playing counter-attacking football. As is their right, away from home, but they're definitely trying to utilise the pace of Sane and Gnabry, with Kane dropping in to pick the ball up and play those assists. I went to Oasis at Lansdowne Road and they were crap. Liam was just muttering under his breath all the way through the songs because I think he'd just broken up with his missus. They were absolute shite. That was the trouble. I've seen Oasis a couple of times and one was shit and one was good. And anybody who likes Oasis will say that was always the risk. In the early days, they were brilliant. But towards the end, you could catch a good concert, you could catch a shit one. Gnabry's been subbed off, yes. I am watching the game, sorry. Gnabry was subbed off for Alphonso Davies, which I had forgotten about. Batistuta or Van Nistelrooy, says Cryptic. Oh, Batistuta. Definitely. But Van Nistelrooy was bloody good for Man United. But I mean, look, maybe it was the aura of Batistuta, but he was bloody good. Start, bench, sell, Blackadder, Faulty Towers, Only Fools and Horses. I would sell Blackadder, bench, Faulty Towers and start Only Fools and Horses. Lovely play here by Vinicius. Oh my God, the skills. And then he messes it up by not passing the simple pass. The skills were electric. The pass was dead. Mrs. Stone says her hack is to wipe my bathroom mirrors with soap to prevent fog. Oh, I've got a life hack in relation to the hiccups. If you have the hiccups, right, I taught it to Seb the other week and it does work. If you've got the hiccups, count the gap between the hiccups twice and you'll get an average. So it might be 10 seconds between each hiccup, right? Then what you want to do is, you know it's roughly 10 seconds between them. On second 7, start swallowing. And if you catch the swallow at the time the hiccup's coming, you won't hiccup and it'll get rid of it. You've got to be doing the swallowing. Don't be doing anything else down there saying, right, to get rid of my hiccups, start swallowing. No, that's something completely different. Have an interview tomorrow. I'm very anxious. Tips, says Mitran. I think with interviews or driving tests, my best advice is always, and I've said it before, imagine that you failed, imagine that you've messed it up and this is your second chance. So go into it imagining that you've failed it and that this is your second chance. It always works for me. I've not always got the job, but I always do a better job than going in nervous. Either or, Fellaini or Fred. Fred. Martin. Both teams got good benches, though. Could change the game. You could just hold your breath as well, yeah. Holding your breath will get rid of hiccups as well, if you do it on the right time. Would you watch an all-German final? I'll watch the Champions League final no matter what, mate. We'll do a watch-along for it. Good tackle by Bellingham. Nice ball into Vinny. On the turn, up against De Ligt. Wins the throw-in. I do think Dortmund will be able to give either of these teams a game. I mean, for me, I personally think, and I will. Oh, that's a foul, surely. I will acknowledge this. If Man City had beaten Real Madrid on penalties, I think they'd have walked it this tournament. I think you could look at this as if you were Pep Guardiola and say, fucking hell, we could have won the Champions League. And that's nothing against Bayern and Dortmund and Real Madrid, but I just think that Real Madrid did fantastically well to get them out. Lema is perfect replacement for Casemiro, says Sergio. Well, Lema was the player that Rangnick wanted to bring in. He's another one that he wanted to bring in. Good cross. Oh, good header away. Valverde trying to shoot from 35 yards on the half volley. Mad. Vinicius Junior's out on the left-hand side. He's going to whip a cross in. Oh, I tell you what, Neuer does really well. It's one of those crosses that nobody gets anything on, and it's actually going in. And Neuer, watch this. It's bending in. That's great goalkeeping, that. Great goalkeeping, because that's going in. That cross is going in. Brilliant goalkeeping. Corner to Madrid. Is Mbappe even worth having at Madrid, says Pat. The team looks very proficient without him, and a large ego could be an issue. Is it even worth bringing him in? Yeah, I've said this before. I think it's a very good point. It'll go one of two ways, won't it? It'll either disrupt or enhance. Another corner. Just left my job, was treated badly, and I'm feeling good, says Ollie. Good for you, sir. Another corner. Cruz whips it in. Headed away by Harry Kane. Back to Cruz. Into Vinny. I don't know what he's trying to do there. Vine will clear it. Water in your ear, tilt your head, jump up and down, says Oddie. Advice for going to hospital going tomorrow. Have PTSD due to post-hospital experiences, by the way, says Logan. Well, take somebody with you, mate. It's good to talk. I'd love to have seen Garner and Mainu play together in the midfield, says Mally. Faris says, I can see United with some players going for Southgate to exclusively oppose you. I remember in a show you said you might leave United stand if he's the manager. Yeah, well, Faris, if they get Southgate, I'm purposely not going to leave. What would your rap name be, says Tamrick. MG in the house. No, that's rubbish. MG. I don't know. M Gold, says Senjo. MG Bridge. How do you like your Whoop band? I like it. Yeah, I do like it. I've had it for over a year now, and I'm very happy with it. Yeah, I've got to say I'm happy with it. I find it quite useful for exercise and sleep. I don't really use it for anything else. Bam, 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 bam. Shh, bam, shh. First goal in this is going to be the key. Valverde's not having a great game. else did I have? What the fuck? That's mad. McBreezy, says Bra. Modric and Kroos will retire. Could Jude convince Mainu to Madrid not this summer but next? Especially if United keep out of the Champions League next year, says Christopher. I don't think there's any danger of Mainu leaving Man United in the next 2 years. If United stay crap, then yeah. Bellingham's won the poll, by the way. 77% went for Bellingham over 23% Foden. I thought that would be a bit closer, but maybe Real Madrid playing has had an impact on that. Ballack or Schweinsteiger? I'd always go Schweinsteiger, Ty. I loved Schweinsteiger. Alan Casey says, Anana, Tadibo, Tosin, Martinez, Frimpong, Mainu, Thuram, Gutierrez, Bruno, Højlund, Garnacho, 3-4-1-2. Any good marks, says Alan. Well, it's better than what we've got available at the moment. I'd love to see you have done that one. Thank you very much. Nice little ball. Hi, Mark. Currently on work placement from college with a girl in my course. We never talked in college. Should I ask her out? Afraid it may get awkward if she says no. Says, call me Dizzy. Well, I need a little bit more than that, call me Dizzy. Like, is she interested? Does she make eye contact with you? Does she talk to you about anything? Does she smile in your company? Or does she recoil in disgust? I'm just trying to say whether it's worth it or not. Not worth the hassle, says Scott Jones. I tell you what, if Bayern Munich were to score first, this game would get very, very interesting. Not that it's not interesting anyway, but Real Madrid's tactic is obviously to try and be a little bit more on the front foot as the home team. Bayern Munich can be a little bit more defensive, are being a little bit more defensive, have been a little bit more defensive, and they're looking for that counter. Harry Kane. Oh, keeper gets there first. It's there. It's definitely there for Bayern. As I said, if they could score first, things would get a bit interesting. But it's half time and it's 0-0. Of course, this game has the potential to go to extra time. Let's get the stats up on the screen for you. There we go. Where are we? Take and pause. There we go. Lovely stuff. Where are we? Where are we? Mark, who do you think will win, Fury or Usyk? Well, I'm doing the watch along on that night. Well, hoping to do it. Looking forward to that. Blackpool or Llandudno, says LFC Gamer. I've never been to either. What genre and name would you come up if you started a band, says Tamarick? Well, it would definitely be sort of rock and roll, yeah, sort of Britpop-y era stuff. Do you think LeBron could have been a footballer, says Richard? Don't care. Do your family members use your real name or Mark, real name, Sohail? And would you recommend leaving job with baby coming, says Ryan? No, not unless you're going to do something else. So thank you very much. There we are at half time. 58% possession for Real Madrid. 8 shots to 2, but both have had 2 on target. I think the way this game is going at the moment is very much Bayern Munich are trying to counter. and it's going to be about who scores first. It could be the perfect game from Bayern Munich if they score first and keep defending the way they are. From Real Madrid's point of view, they've got more of the possession. It really is going to be about who scores first. We're in London, aren't we, says Prajit. Would you take Guirassy at United? Do you reckon he would do as well as he did this season in the Bundesliga? How well has Guirassy done since Christmas? I know he had a good start to the season, but I don't follow Bundesliga, so I don't know. I mean, I'm literally going to give you my opinion on Guirassy based on what he did until January. I don't know what he's done. I've not kept an eye since then. My fear with Guirassy and whoever goes for him is that he's just his age profile and what he's done in this season doesn't fill me with any confidence that he's going to come to the Premier League and do it. I'm a bit with Giuseppe. He feels like he's a one-season wonder, and I think United need more than that. Rasmus definitely needs somebody that he can work with, and he's not going to go to Arsenal. If Arsenal are going to bring a striker in, they need to bring somebody good. If Onana was in goal, Madrid would have scored 2, says D92. Guirassy's got 25 goals this season. Neuer carries Bayern, says Charlotte. And what's this nonsense? Mainu in exchange for Cruz. No. Absolute nonsense. I mean, that's the sort of thing the Glazers would do. No, we can't take on any more expensive on their way down players. Neuer has made 2 good saves in this game. Very good saves. Would you take Jared Bowen at United, says Joel? Yes. I mean, I don't necessarily think I'd normally want to say that, but that just shows you how far Man United are off at the moment. Do you think Coventry can make it into the Premier League, says that Skills? No. I don't. But Ipswich have shown it can be done. So it's not impossible, but I'd like to see a Coventry get promoted, but no, I don't think they can. It's very, very difficult to do it. Do a UK tour, says Thirst, and Onana. Okay. Are you considering adding XG to the match stats graphic? I have considered it. I was hoping it was going to die out a little bit, really. I'm not really that into it. Daniel Sturridge says, finished my penultimate uni assignment, enjoying a whiskey and a cigar. Hope you and the family are well. Is Seb banned from Wembley yet? We've not had the letter yet. But he does need to be careful. He is been caught literally in 4K punching a chair. Thanks everybody who watched that vlog, by the way. We're looking at doing a few more. He's got the bug now, so yeah, hopefully we can do that a little bit more. I think what clubs should do is say, we'd love to have you and Seb come to a game, and we could just go and do vlogs around, well, Europe. We're happy to go to Real Madrid or even Valencia or Copenhagen or Swansea. All in on Ipswich, definitely mid-table 24-25, says Richard. Look, I would love to see one of the Premier League promoted clubs hit mid-table and be really, exciting. But I feel that the gap between the Championship and the Premier League is getting bigger and bigger. One thing I would say is that I really do think that when I look at Brentford and Fulham, they did quite well when they first came up. Now, Fulham had Mitrovic, I think, in the first season, and Brentford had Ivan Toney. I think if you're going to be a promoted team, Ipswich, Leicester, Sheffield United, Burnley, Luton, if you gave Sheffield United an Ivan Toney, or you gave Burnley Mitrovic, I think what I'm trying to say is you need a goal scorer in that league. Look at Villa this year with Watkins. Would they be where they are without Ollie Watkins? No. If you want to stay in this league, Burnley play some good football, but they don't put the ball in the back of the net. You've got to You need a striker that can score you 10, 15 goals in the Premier League. And if you get that, I think you can stay up. But look, Arsenal want a striker. Man United want a striker. Chelsea need a striker. So it's not that easy. Look, Arsenal would love Isak or Watkins. They can't afford him. Let alone knock on the door and try and get them. They can't afford to pay what it would take to get Isak or Watkins. So they're few and far between. But if I was an Ipswich or I was a Leicester or whoever else comes up, that's what I would be prioritising. Somebody who can put the ball in the back of the net, because that will keep you in the league. Sheffield United back in 2019 was incredible, says Wan. We do end up in a call when we are working from home, just chatting, and she does laugh at things I say. I wouldn't say she recalls around Mrs. Call Me Dizzy. Well, look, if she laughs at what you're saying, ask her out. If she laughs back, what have you lost? Didn't see the gap between United and Coventry, says Mrs. Stone. I'm scratching my head. Who's winning the Championship playoffs? I've already been asked this, Scott. I think it will be Southampton. PM says, Neuer shows that German keepers always will be the best in the world. Why don't Premier League clubs buy German keepers instead of overpriced keepers like Onana, says PM. Well, Leno's German. Lehmann, German. So we've had a few Germans in the Premier League. We do end up... Yeah. Southgate equals a huge budget to keep fans happy, says David. Thanks for all the super chats, by the way. Please do subscribe. We're really, really close. I don't know what's going on with that subscriber number because that's completely wrong. We're only 10 subscribers away from 150,000. I'm going to try and fix that while I'm here. How would I do that? Here we go. Oh no. Oh no. How do I do this? Off. Okay. There. Edit. What did I say we're on? 5. Could it be fixed? Yes. 1.15 million subscribers. I'm going to gamble on that because we're only 10 away. Please do subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. Bottom right hand corner. Lovely stuff. Get involved with That's Football. Lots going on. Our next video, I think, is tomorrow. Premier League Team of the Season. We did it in the Goldbridge Arms for the podcast, and very, very happy with it. So get involved in that one because I personally think that Premier League Team, and if you want to put some in now in preparation for tomorrow, you might change your mind. I'll read some out, but we recorded that today. Premier League Team of the Season, and I've got to say, really, really brilliant this year. It's really, really great because I think this has been the best Premier League Team of the Season I've done in years. Because there's just so many people in there, in my opinion, that you wouldn't have thought at the start of the season would be in there. And they 100% deserve to be in there, in my opinion. There's a few either-ors, which we go through on the podcast. But I think it's great this year. I mean, even starting with the goalkeeper. Premier League Team of the Season. I'm not talking about... People are saying Aston Villa. I don't mean that, you bloody idiot. You bloody prats. Get out. You bloody idiots. I'm not talking about team like Arsenal or Man City. I'm talking Premier League Team of the Season. Who, like goalkeeper, right back, left back. People are writing Aston Villa and Man City in there. Bloody hell. Wake up. Wake up. But look, even the goalkeeper. Is difficult. I had a short list of Vicario, Raya, Pickford, Martinez, and Alisson. They were my 5. As I said, it's really, I'm happy to read some out. It's been, it's the best Premier League Team of the Season I've done in years. Because It's not just Diaz, Van Dijk, Rodri, Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne, Haaland. I actually don't think... Here's a controversial take for you. I don't think Erling Haaland gets in Premier League Team of the Season this year. Oh, that's controversial. Listen to the podcast tomorrow. I'll explain why. I might have put him in, but what I'm saying is what I actually said when it came to the striker. I said, I don't think Erling Haaland walks into Premier League Team of the Season this year. I don't think he does. Last year, easy work. This year, I don't think he does. He might be in yours, but what I'm saying is it's not an open goal. For me, it's got to be Jackson. I didn't pick Vicario Peas. I put him in there because I do it. Remember, a season is from August to May. You can't dismiss somebody that was brilliant from August to December. Like Vicario's had a bad January to May, but from August to December, I thought he was amazing. So I think you've got to remember it's not just about the last 2 months. Like Phil Foden's had a good season. Yeah. Okay. Whichever team wins, can they beat Dortmund's defence right now? I think Dortmund can give them both these teams a game, ZD. Would you consider Eric Dyer for a centre-back cover for the Euros after his revival? Oh, I hope not, John, but you never know with Southgate. Only City player I think is nailed on is Foden, says Jack. Yeah, because De Bruyne missed a lot of the season, didn't he? Mrs. Stone says 115. Not sure why that's going on, but say hi to my girlfriend. She's just got a new car, says that Skills. When a team performs badly, mainstream pundits are quick to call for a sacking, citing overused cliche nonsense. It's lazy and crap, says Alex Scott. Well, as somebody said on the United Stand earlier, all these pundits that talk about sacking managers, maybe we as fans should start movements to sack them. Maybe we should be saying, sack such and such pundit, they're boring every single week, sack them and tag TNT in and just do it for weeks and weeks and weeks and see how they like it. Go for it. Dizzy, if it gets awkward, get her fired, says Lee Berman. Oh. Mark, will Leverkusen pull off an invincible season, says Tom. Yes, and Arsenal fans don't need to worry because it's not in the Premier League. Yeah, they will. Leverkusen will do that now. There's no way they're not going to go unbeaten. Right, we're ready to go for the second half. Which way do you think this is going to go? I've gone with Real Madrid, but look, I did say 3-0 Real Madrid. It's probably not going to be that comfortable. If I'm being completely honest, it might be a little bit closer than that. So let's get ready to rumble for the second half. It could go to extra time, remember. If it finishes in a draw, we'll go to extra time. It could be penalties. Real Madrid were in that position last time out with Manchester City. Ben says overachiever and underachiever for the Euros. Oh, I've not really got into Euros mindset yet. Is Elise in the 90% club, Marks? Is it sir? Look, I did a video on the United Stand on a Sunday 2 months ago saying deal done, Elise. And the story behind that is that he's got a release clause, so Crystal Palace have got no say in it. He wants to come to Man United, and Man United have held talks. The question is whether Man United follow through on it. And alternatively, what if another club comes in before Man United move on it? So I wouldn't say it's 90%, but I would say he is on the hotometer. I think I've got him at 70%. Oh, what? I thought they'd scored again there. Brilliant play by Vinicius Jr. and Valverde just didn't get a good connection on it. He's a fantastic player, Vinicius Jr. What are you shooting from there for, you twat? I'd say that on the pitch. Was it Nacho shooting from 40 yards? Look at this from Vinicius Jr. though. These quick feet into the box, cuts it back. Oh no, it was good defending by Dyer. It was never there for Valverde. Sick day to watch the Champions League. Best excuse, love from Australia, says Cam. What, you've had a sick day, or you want an excuse for a sick day? Good ball by Kane. Out to Davies. He might be going to Real Madrid. Oh my God, he nearly scored. Deflection. Goes for a corner. Is he going to Real Madrid? His contract's up, isn't it? Think he's going to go? Is he going there? I don't follow it enough to know. Cam, what's your best excuse to get out of on a sick day? I just used to ring up and put the voice on. Not the ITV programme. I mean, I'd go, oh, I'm feeling really ill. What's wrong with you? Diarrhea. Why are you talking like you've got a sore throat then? Don't know. See you in a week. Bye. Freedom, I won't let you down. Mark, Luke Jones says, Mark, genuine question, but how do you see the 115 case playing out? As a Man City fan, we've obviously done some stuff over the years, but then can the Premier League really prove us guilty and belittle their own competition? I think I've said it a few times. I genuinely think they'll get off. Maybe that's glass half empty, but you've hit the nail on the head. Do you think the Premier League is run well? Look at VAR. Look at the amount of bloody added on minutes. Look at the increase in injuries. I don't think these people are very good at running the league. So, and Man City have got a lot of money. So I just think they'll get off. How they get off, I don't know. You know, I've seen what the charges are levelled against them, and they are quite descriptive. But I think they will get off, yeah. That's what I think will happen. LeBron says Bellingham and Vinicius Jr. for Rashford and Anthony plus €5 million. Who says no? Only an idiot. Any players I should put on my Euro fantasy team, says Ezzy. I don't want to be advising anybody at the moment. I've not looked into it enough. Here's Davies again. Bayern looking to break. Harry Kane into the box and cleared. Logan says the sick voice days are done. You can just text in sick coming out of both ends. Logan, yeah, but some companies don't let you do that. They want you to phone in. Oh, lovely play by Bellingham. He's got a pass though. How many times have we seen Real Madrid do that tonight? Bit of skill and then they don't play the simple pass. Lovely play by Bellingham and then just pass it. I think the first goal here is crucial. Please do subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner, thanks for getting involved on That's Football. You're all very welcome. Bayern just been a little bit more progressive in these first few minutes of the second half. That was Fernando Alonso in the crowd, yeah. Who watches F1 in 2024? Although, shout out to Lando Norris. He won at the weekend. The one race I wish I'd actually watched. Obi-Wan says, have you ever had a fantasy about a fictional character? Come on. Princess Leia, come on. Not the old grandma who fucking flies back to a blown up ship. I'm talking prime Return of the Jedi. Either or. Bournemouth manager or Wolves manager, says Evan. I like Gary O'Neill. But people who study games more will probably say the Bournemouth manager is a better coach. Good running by Valverde. Won't keep it in, though. Ignore Red Bull and F1's great, says Giuseppe. But that's a bit like saying ignore Man City and the Premier League's great. It's true, but it's hard to ignore who finishes first. World Padlock says, thoughts on Laura Woods? I think she's an innovation in female sports presenting and I think she combines knowledge with wit and self-awareness. And if you are a female broadcaster looking to get into, professional broadcasting, then look no further than somebody like that who, I think unfairly, some people say that they get jobs because there's quotas to fill. I actually think on TalkSport's breakfast show, it's fallen off since she's gone. And I think she's a really good presenter who brings personality to it. Now, I don't think that's what you genuinely thought were asking me about Laura Woods, but I'm a professional. I gave you the answer. Thoughts on Griezmann this season, says Charlie. Haven't really noticed him massively, mate. It's not a league I follow. Oh my God. Stop shooting from 40 yards. You're really bad at it. Valverde again. Tom says hiccups, teaspoon of sugar with a glass of water. Oh, God, Tom, don't do that. Thoughts on Tom Cleverley as Watford manager, says Luca. Oh, good look at the pace of Mendy there. How Harry Kane brushes him off. Shoots wide. Harry Kane told to get up. Didn't look like it was a penalty, but he got the shot off. Playing well at the moment, Bayern. I mean, I say playing well. They're in the game. Who do I think is going to win? I think the longer it goes without Real Madrid scoring, the more nervous the crowd will get. And Bayern are basically playing counter-attacking football. They only need to get it right once. And I've sensed that Real Madrid are getting a little bit panicky. Some of the shots, we've seen 2 shots from 40 yards in this game already. That is always an indicator of a team that's panicking a little bit. I'll tell you about Harry Kane, though. It's not a surprise what I'm going to say, but his long-distance shooting is ridiculously accurate. What about Kate Abdu? I genuinely don't watch that, so I don't really take any notice of it, so I can't comment on it. Lou says, I've admired Toni Kroos ever since he joined Madrid, and I wish he could have come to United instead of Casemiro. Kroos' skill for his age is fire. Thoughts on Tom Cleverley as Watford manager? Well, I hope he does well, Luca. It's always nice to have ex-United players, go into management. Not that there's been many that have done that well. This game's going to be about who scores first. Nice switch of the play. Get it into Vinny. That's it. Got to get it into Vinny early so he's got a bit of space. Here he is down that right-hand side, left-hand side. Up against De Ligt. Oh, goal kick. Rodrigo. Is that a big miss? What does Ancelotti eat? Is it a box of chewing? Oh, I tell you what, that's close. Vinicius Jr. again puts the cross in. Rodrigo gets a toe on it and it just goes wide. That is close, Fennec. You're right. What's Ancelotti eating? He's got a little tube or something. Is it like mince? Or is it chewing gum? He used to be... Is he a smoker? He used to smoke. I don't know whether he still does smoke. I mean, he wouldn't be allowed to do it now. It's gum, says Linda. He used to sit and smoke, didn't he? So did, what was his name? Sarri. He was a smoker. Good tackle by De Ligt. Bellingham trying to get the crowd up. Fate is on Bayern's side, says John. Yeah, well, if you look at the big chances, Bayern, Real Madrid have come close 2 or 3 times. Need to have a stretch. Getting a bit of a sweaty ass. Been quite a hot day today. Oh, me back. Oh, me back. Oh, me back. Could be nicotine gun, says Iram. Could be. Saris makes 2 packs a day, says Rub. I know loads of people who, well, I don't know whether they still do, but 2 packs a day is not unusual for people who are really into smoking. 40 fags a day. Imagine how much that costs as well. How much is a packet of cigarettes these days? Today? Who's the better Brazilian, Neymar or Ronaldinho? Ronaldinho, definitely. Easy work, Pedro. I did used to smoke. Haven't done for years and years and years. The smoking ban at pubs sort of did me. That's a foul on Bellingham by Neymar. 12 to 16 pounds for 20 cigarettes. Oh my God. I remember when they were like £1 for 10 and £2 for 20. You're nearly paying £1 a cigarette. My God. Smoking's bad for you. It's bad for your wallet as well. Lana Rhodes or Riley Reid as Fraser. I don't know who those people are. Can Tuchel winning Champions League change your mind, says Shahin? No. To rehab knee surgery, watch the game changes, says Tom Edwards. Right, free kick here. Cruz is on it. Former club. Long-time teammate. He won't score from here. Rodrigo shot anyway. Goal kick. Yes, I mean, I mean, it's a good free kick, but out of 10, it's a 7. And it's a comfortable save for Neuer. It's getting a bit nervy, this game now, isn't it? I mean, it depends who you want to win, but you'd still be nervous either way. Bayern, Real Madrid, you'd be nervous about this game. It just feels as if it could go either way. And that's a big mistake by Cruz, which is left to a 3-3-3. It's a bad pass by Musiala. They'll be disappointed with that. Plays it behind Sane. Have you heard Ten Hag's getting fired, says William? No, I was saying earlier on the United stand. I mean, I know a few people in and around the club. And, I mean, look, if they gave me the information, I probably wouldn't tell you anyway. But, honestly, lovely play by Vinny. And a great save by Manuel Neuer again. He's having a fantastic game. He really is. It's almost like Vinicius Junior against Neuer. What a battle we've got going on here. Yeah, I think what I'm basically hearing is that nobody really knows what the decision's going to be at the moment. Which means maybe that's how Ineos feel. They've not made their mind up yet. It's the Vinny Neuer derby, says Nutton. I've got a feeling Bayern are going to get a chance in a minute. Still no yellow cards in this game. I mean, that is a yellow card. Harry Kane is right. That is a yellow card by Rudiger. I mean, he's literally... That is a yellow card. I don't think there's been any yellow cards in this game, but that is a yellow card. Rudiger's blocked him off and he's running through in a dangerous position. Referee might have left his cards at home. Who do I want to win? I'd prefer Madrid to win because they've got my favourite player outside of Man United is Vinicius Junior. Having said that, I do really like Bellingham as well. So Imagine an Onana in goal for Bayern. You would see him making a dive to save a ball and wonder how it's gone straight through him, says Nick P. Rub smoked last 8 years ago. Still best feeling in life. What, smoking or not smoking? Here's Sane. Good tackle. I think subs are going to be thought of by both teams very soon. They've both got good benches, haven't they? I mean, Gnabry came off obviously very early in the game for Davies. Go on. That's the pass. Why did I used to smoke? Look, I wouldn't encourage it. It's expensive. It's definitely bad for your health. But I grew up in the 90s. You know, my role models were people like Liam Gallagher, and it was 20 Bennos and a pint of Red Stripe. You know, it was down the pub playing pool. You know, pub life was what we used to do. Listen to music, have a lager, smoke. That was the culture. You know, a lot of the youth today don't drink. Last time I spoke to Angry Ginge, I don't think he'd ever had a drink in his life. And he's in his early 20s. I mean, that might have changed. I saw he was at Rooney's the other day. So, but fair play. Things change, don't they? But the reason I smoked is because that's what most people used to do. I mean, you were in a pub full of smoke. So whether you smoked or not, you were getting it indirectly. I used to like it. You know, back in the day, I used to like a pint and a cigarette. It was a good combo. Now, it'd make me want to throw up. As I said, as soon as they got rid of the smoking ban, which was, when was that? 2005? I stopped. Oh. And ball. He's giving it. It's outside the box, though. Yeah, Ben says Ginge doesn't drink at all. Well, I definitely wouldn't. I definitely would agree. I mean, why would he change from what he said about 5 months ago? Mark, were you a footballer growing up? Yes, Kian. I'm hoping if I can stay fit, I will be playing a few games, which I'm sure there'll be some video footage of over the next few weeks. I like being drunk. Yeah, I don't like the hangover though, Dylan. Oh, Cruz, back post. Plenty of Bayern players back. Oh, it's a terrible ball. And another volley from 30 yards out. Forget about it. You can't do it. You're rubbish. If Tuchel won the Champions League, would you consider him for the United job, says Juicy? No. Di Matteo won the Champions League. I mean, I don't think you can say because he wins the Champions League he deserves the job. Jonathan says, why haven't you played FIFA with Rooney yet? I haven't even thought about. I mean, look, I've sort of been. I sort of moved on from the Girth and Turf days, haven't I? I was there at the start for a little bit. Madri or Moretti? I do like Madri, Josh. Kane first trophy or Royce Loyalty Champions League, says Shaheen. Or Bellingham. Good save by Lunan that time. I think it was Musiala with the shot. Start, bench, sell, Saka, Foden, Sane. I'd have to sell Sane. I would bench Foden and start Saka, Fraser. Michael Oliver is the VAR for the FA Cup final. I'm tweeting. I mean, my thoughts on that, I've just tweeted it, but look, Michael Oliver this season, no one's saying he's corrupt, or some of you might, but he was involved in the offside goal that Man City got given. He was involved when Kovacic didn't get 2 red cards. He was involved in the Højlund penalty, which from the VAR room, which the on-field referee didn't give. He was involved in Doku. The Doku non-penalty. Goal! Oh my God! Alphonso Davies has scored for Bayern Munich. I tell you what, if he thinks he's going to Bayern Munich, if he thinks he's going to Real Madrid, that might not make him very popular next season. But you've got to play the game. You've got to play the game. And that is an absolute banger by Alphonso Davies. Incredible. Valverde's had a shit game for Real Madrid, and he's defended. His passing's been shit all game. His defending's been shit all game. But Alphonso Davies here, it's a great goal as well. That is a great goal. I've called him a bit of a FIFA player, but that's a Champions League semi-final. It's individualistic, and the finish is absolutely brilliant. What a goal by Alphonso Davies. That is absolutely incredible. Cuts inside, curls it in the far corner. I did say I felt that was coming. Real Madrid have had chances, and you knew that Bayern would get a chance, and they've taken it. Patrick Lynch says, how many people will think Kimmich is finished because Vinny is playing so well? The Hulk coming back out, FA Cup final. Oh, yes, says Parker. Kroos is coming off of Modric. James is talking about anxiety or a hangover. What is anxiety? Yeah, going back to what I was saying before, Michael Oliver this season for Manchester City has been involved in an offside goal that was given, a soft penalty from the VAR room, 2 red cards he didn't give, the Doku penalty he didn't give, and the semi-final couple of decisions he didn't give for Chelsea there as well. So why would the PGMOL put him involved in the biggest game of the season? It's just like they just don't help themselves, do they? And I don't think they help themselves because I think they're arrogant. They don't listen to fans' concerns. They just do what they think is best. But look, what a goal. We're watching the Champions League here. It's 3-2 on aggregate with 2 minutes to go. I think Bayern have got a good chance now. Weak foot goal as well, says M123. Well, it plays into Bayern's hands now. When you're the away team and you're playing counter-attacking football and you score first, you don't have to change your model. Like if Real Madrid score, Bayern Munich have got to change, haven't they? But in this instance, they've got that goal. They just keep doing what they've been doing for 70 minutes. Defending deep, counter-attacking at pace, and basically say to Real Madrid, you've got to keep doing what you're doing and we'll keep counter-attacking you as well. I mean, with 20 minutes to go, you do feel that Real Madrid will get another chance. The classic final at Wembley. Michael Oliver's on VAR, mate. Oh, it's a goal! Real Madrid! They're pointing at somebody on the floor. It will get reviewed on VAR. There's a player down here. I wouldn't get too excited. Kimmich is down, clutching his face. Bayern Munich players are running all around him. Elbow to the face, says Harry Kane. I don't think it will be a goal. I mean, Kimmich is right to stay down. I haven't seen it. Daz says it's not a foul. It will be a foul. They'll give that as a foul. Especially because Nacho scores the goal. That will be a foul. I mean, he touches his face. Yeah, that's 100% a foul. That's not a goal. That's not a goal. That's no way going to get given. If they give this goal, it's a disgrace. Yeah, no way. He's not giving it. Yeah. Push to the face, no goal. You can't argue with that. It's the right decision. I mean, look, it is a bit soft, but if Nacho keeps his hands down, it wouldn't be a penalty. It wouldn't be a foul. He's literally put his hands up. It's I don't have a problem with this. The referee's got it absolutely correct. Kimmich has made a bloody meal of it, but you can't put your hands on it. You can't put someone's... You can't do that. Steve Downing, thanks for your super chat. Would you replace Onana with Lunan, says Lou? I think we've got to stick with that. Shawnick says Andy Madley is the ref for the final, not Michael Oliver. He's on BAR, mate. Will it be a replay of Dortmund versus Bayern at Wembley, says Shawnick? Well, look, what I would say is, does it have the feel that it's Bayern Munich's night? Because Real Madrid should have probably scored a couple of goals by now. And they have scored a goal. It's been ruled out. So are we starting to get that feeling that it's just going to be Bayern Munich's night? Manuel Neuer's had a fantastic game as well. Camavinga caught in possession. Modric. Got to go back there. What the fuck is that? Goal kick. Yeah, that's not... Look, whether you want Real Madrid to win or not, you've got to be fair. Well, you don't have to be fair, but you've got to be logical. And it was a foul. But this is the goal by Davies. It's absolutely fantastic. Cuts inside. Bends it in. Fantastic. Scores 1-0. I don't need to change the score. People are saying change the score. Parker says, if we don't sell Onana, I'm going to England. Here's Kane. I mean, Bayern Munich could score on the break. They've just got to keep playing, doing what they're doing. Oddie says the Germans are coming to our capital, Marky. Oh, Kane again, side netting. I thought he'd score there. Musiala does really well, slips in Kane. And from there, you would expect Kane to score. Sane's coming off for Kim Min-jae. Going a bit defensive, Bayern. 15 to go. Leon says, you pronounce Enmika as Metsha or Metisha. Bloody hell, I'd never have got that one, Leon. So it's a quiet N. Metsha. Coutinho says, I'm not happy that we're signing... well, this is not wise to sub Sane off. It's getting a bit tense out there, which it will do. Exciting last 15 minutes in this Champions League semi-final in the Bernabeu. Which way is it going to go? Treble Champ says, second Champions League final for Tuchel and people don't want him. Clueless, simply clueless. I don't think it's to do with that, mate. It's to do with the evidence that he's a troublemaker. And that basically he just wants Man United because it's the only big job available. I mean, he'd go Chelsea, wouldn't he, if it was available? He'd go Barcelona if it was available. I think people are more thinking about what Man United need and do we need another project manager who's got a big ego? Which I think is a fair point. But I'd take him over Southgate. Bloody hell. I mean, if Ten Hag's going to get the sack and it's Tuchel or Southgate, it's no contest, is it? Modric. Real Madrid looking rattled here. Musiala is better than Bellingham, says Cameron. Please do subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. Champions League final at the moment would be between Bayern Munich and Dortmund at Wembley, if it stays like this. And I tell you what, as well, is really interesting. Not only will it potentially be two German teams in the final, but also it will be two teams in the final who had the second leg away from home, which is not normal either. Normally, the team who is away has a disadvantage in the second leg. You would have said PSG with the home tie in the second leg and Real Madrid have got an advantage. So it'd be very interesting if that works out. Praise says, Tuchel fell out with Mainz because of player bullying and with Dortmund because he said to club bosses, how can he beat Bayern with wimps? Reference kickoff. Dull Future says 3-0 Madrid, he said. Yeah, mate, you do realise that nobody in the world can predict a scoreline and be, cancelled because of it. The whole point is that if I knew what the score was going to be, I'd be a billionaire. It's called a prediction. How likely is Southgate going to United to say, I don't want to say it's not going to happen because then when it does happen, I'll feel even worse. Another free kick. Lamer. Did look like it was a free kick. Richard says, what's your thoughts on The Sopranos? I gave up watching it, mate. I don't know why I did as well, because The Sopranos for me would be a definite ingredient to be a great series, and I just gave up watching it, and I need to go back. Cameron says, I hope Royce can win it and then he can retire in peace. Oh, the amount of international tournaments he's missed for Germany over the years is incredible, isn't it? What about Kane for Ballon d'Or? Valverde's coming off. He's had a crap game, hasn't he? Great goal against Man City, but not been impressed with Valverde at all tonight. 10 minutes to go. Diaz comes on for Rodrigo as well. Is that going to go for a goal kick or a corner? It's a corner. It's a corner. Off Rudiger. The thing about The Sopranos is, talking about spoilers, without even looking at it, I've seen it so many times on Twitter and shorts, like the last scene of The Sopranos, which I don't think ruins it. But JB says shadow banned lately, Mark. Don't know what that is. Oh, they've just hit the bar. Bayern. Oh no, foul was given anyway somewhere. Kim Min Jae, that would have sat you down. If it had scored that, well, it wouldn't be given, but Can Real Madrid get a chance in the last 10 minutes? We know they've got great character. They've proven it time and time again. And they'll be gutted if they don't win this tournament, having knocked out Real Madrid. Oh, that's the chance. That's the chance. It's not an easy take for Vinicius Jr., but this ball by Rudiger is absolutely fantastic. He gets ahead of Kimmich. It's not easy, but it is a big chance. Proposed rule change. Goals from outside the box should be worth 2. Only downside is it will cause teams to just pot shot. I mean, in theory, reverse clouds, it is interesting, but I don't think football needs changing. It's been a brilliant game for decades. Well, longer than that. I don't think we need to keep. I'll flip that round a bit. Why do people keep looking to change football rules? Like the back pass rule needed to be changed. But what is actually wrong with football? Why do we need to change it? Like, there's nothing wrong with it. There's constant innovation, but the game's been played for over 100 years. It's fine. Sopranos is a slow burner, but it gets better later, says Cal. The last final at Wembley was also between Bayern and Dortmund. Mad how it could happen again, location and all. Backing Dortmund the whole way through, says Exploder. Musiala's gone down with a bit of cramp here. Well, imagine... I asked this question before. Is Alphonso Davies going to Real Madrid? Is that actually happening? Because if it is, he's probably going to be the guy that kicks him out. He's out of contract, isn't he, in the summer? Oh no. I thought Harry Kane was coming off. Musiala's coming off and Muller. Oh, Harry Kane is coming off for Choupo-Moting. Well, they've got to win this now. If this goes extra time, they've took off Harry Kane. Sane's off as well. Modric with the cross. He's playing. Oh, they're going to score here, Bayern. Surely they're going to score. No, Modric gets back. They should have scored there. At one point, they had a 4v1 on the break. That could have been it. 5 minutes to go. Probably a little bit longer with added time. There was a very big opportunity for Bayern Munich on the break. I mean, they're risking it now, Bayern. There's not long to go. Terrible cross by Vinny. There's a Real Madrid player down, but it's not. I don't really get this. It's not a head injury, so Pavlovic has gone down with a calf problem. He's blown up. The dream might be over for Madrid, says VX. Have you ever been to Acots Green near Solihull? Says Musty. I used to live in Acots Green, mate. So yeah, I've definitely been there. Mark, you're British Larry David, mate, says Zia. Does Kane win the Ballon d'Or if Bayern win the Champions League? Robbo says, did you ever watch 24? One of the most entertaining and impulsive TV shows I've seen. I don't think I ever did watch 24, you know. I remember it being massively popular. Sylvester, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Our only new member tonight. You're a legend, pal. Get your badge in. Cheers, pal. Well, there's been a lot of stop and starts in the last 10 minutes, but in the Champions League, traditionally, you don't get 8 or 9 minutes added on, so it could still be quite a clever thing to do in the Champions League to time waste, because it doesn't normally, it's not the Premier League, is it, where they'll add on half an hour. Madrid knocking the ball around quite nicely, but these crosses are not a good idea against a very tall back three for Bayern. Bellingham is overrated, says Ozone. And Tawinda says, start bench sell, R9, R7, and your favourite Roy Keane. But it depends what you want. Like, if you want a captain, Keane's the best. If we're talking pure talent, Ronaldo, R7 over R9. Goal! Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, no, no, no. I don't know why I'm saying oh, no, because I'd rather Real Madrid win. But Neuer has spilt it. Very liquid hands. He's let it slip. And he's had such a big game. Oh, no. You would not have expected this. He's had such a good game. Vinicius Jr. takes a silly shot from outside the box, straight at Neuer. I mean, it's just never going in. It's a silly shot. And Neuer spills it. It's a complete and utter howler from the guy you'd probably give man of the match to. Onana Neuer, someone in the chat said, it's an absolute let-off for Real Madrid. You can say they've got that durability and they never give up. Manuel howler. And the big problem that Bayern have got now is he's took he's got no Kane and he's got no Sane. I just don't think Bayern Munich looks set up for goals now. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, everybody, but this Bayern Munich team looks very, very defensive now, and this Real Madrid side looks very attacking. I don't know. Maybe Kane's carrying an injury. I don't know. Maybe Sane's carrying an injury. I don't know. But those subs seemed a little bit too risky for me. Why not just keep them on? Yeah. I don't know. Look, I don't know why he took Kane and Sane off. You know, Gnabry's already off injured. Have they got... They've won it! Oh, he's offside. He's got the flag up. They have got it up. 9 minutes added on here as well. Just looking at the bench for... Kingsley Coman's not fit anyway. I mean, yeah, he's took Sane and Kane off and he hasn't really got any attacking options. He's gone... Look, it's a risk. I've seen plenty of managers do it. You've got that one goal. You go defensive. Then they equalise. They're checking an offside, but I didn't see the replay. I'm not seeing people saying it's onside, so I presume it's not. That's a goal. Whoa, hold on a minute. I think he's on. I think he's onside. Oh my God. I think it's onside. You know what? It's one of those where everybody's hands up and you think it's offside. Goal! Oh my God! Oh my God! Knock me down with a feather. Bayern Munich have bowled this. Oh my God! I tell you what, that's one of the first times I've ever seen VAR work, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work, but I was convinced because of the way Bayern Munich reacted that that was off. Because it was just like offside. Wow. Well, I tell you what. You can talk about Tuchel, but I think he's ruined this. I think Tuchel has tactically bottled this. I really do. They had this game won. He takes Kane and Sane off. He took a risk and he's got it wrong. He's got it completely wrong. Look, I'm not gonna say I know better than a guy that's won the bloody Champions League with Chelsea, but unless someone's gonna tell me that Harry Kane and Sane have got an injury, why would you do that? There was too long left to take them off. Miles onside. Miles onside. What was Tuchel thinking? I don't know. I don't know. Kane off for Choupo-Moting and Sane off for a defender. It's highly likely with, 7 minutes left that they're going to get a big chance. Real Madrid. They're at home. There's 7 minutes of normal time to go. It's highly likely they're going to get a big chance, and if they score that big chance, it's going to extra time, and you need to be able to score goals. I'm just looking at his subs here. 85 minutes, he takes off Kane. 76 minutes, he takes off Sane for Kim Min-jae. Muller for Musiala, I sort of understand. But that Sane sub and that Kane sub has left them with nowhere to go at all. Their front three is Muller, Davies and Choupo-Moting. And it should still be Kane, Sane and Davies. He's got that. He's fucked that. Absolutely fucked it. VAR is so fast and efficient in Europe, says Armin. Jozalu's a Newcastle legend, says I'm cool. He got linked to Man United. Look, if Bayern can get back in and get a goal here, it'll be a miracle. For a brief moment, my head went back to 99, seeing Bayern utterly devastated, says Nick P. Bayern never learned from 99 against United. They subbed their best players off and lost. Mate, I remember them taking off Mateus, and he was sat on the side thinking they were going to win it. What do you think about Jose taking over Man United for the FA Cup final? Says Nicholas. I love your content, says Jacob. And Bruno's like Modric, he'll still be running around at 38. God, we've got nearly 40,000 people watching this, by the way. You're absolute legends. We'll be watching the Champions League final together, of course. It's going to be at Wembley. It's going to be Dortmund. It looked like it was going to be an all-German affair. It now looks like it's going to be Real Madrid. I tell you what, I do think Dortmund will give either of these teams a game. I think it'll be a good final. But I just can't believe this. I mean, Neuer. Let's not forget, Neuer, massive mistake. Massive mistake from probably Dortmund, from Munich's best player. But what I'd also say is, when you look at it like that, 19 shots to 7. Real Madrid have found a way here, and Bayern Munich need to try and find a way themselves. They've got 3 minutes to take this to extra time, but they just haven't got the players on the pitch, have they? Or have they? No. Nacho, and that's a foul. They just haven't got the players now. There's no Kane, there's no Sane. Kim Min-jae came on for Sane, so they've got too many defenders. Robbo says, I adore the VAR technology they use here. It'll be a great day when that replaces PGMOL Mafia with their rulers and low-res cameras, says Robbo. Rio with the hug of death, says Name. Are you happy, Mark? I mean, look, no, you can't be happy for a team that you don't support. But Vinicius Jr., as I've said to you for a few years now, well, probably 2, is my favourite player outside of Man United. I just love the way he plays the game. And, you know, Jude Bellingham has been a bit quiet, but I'm, you know, very, very happy to have Jude Bellingham as an English player who's 20 years of age playing for Real Madrid. I feel bad for Harry Kane. You know, I've got nothing against Harry Kane, but he's not on the pitch. Like, when he's on the pitch, they're winning 1-0. And he's one of the best strikers in the world. I don't understand why he took Harry Kane off. I just don't know why you would do that. But they're on the attack here. Into the box. Wild. Let it go for a goal kick. He can't. And they've kept it in. And Bayern, Rudiger just whacks it forward. They've still got 30 seconds to go. On a serious note, does anyone know why Kane would have been brought off with 5 minutes to go, other than tactical? Has he been injured recently? Would love Lamer at United, says Armin. Yes, I would. I think he's, well, I would. But you've always got to worry about adaptation from the Bundesliga to the Premier League. Alphonso Davies is offside here. Well, it's been entertaining. It's not like Real Madrid need any luck. I mean, they've won the Champions League more times than most of us have had hot dinners. But it's not going to work for Bayern because they could have another 20 minutes and they've got nothing in the attack. As Camavinga gets a yellow card for petulance. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way, everybody. Lots of people watching. You're very welcome on That's Football. And people thought that the Champions League was boring. Now it's got no English teams in it. Grow up. This is the football. This is the elite tournament of the world. And if the English teams deserve to be in it, they'd be in it. It's going to be Borussia Dortmund against Real Madrid. And I'm afraid Thomas Tuchel is going to have to take responsibility. Yes, he's not responsible for Neuer, but as soon as a mistake goes in and you've got no Kane and Sane on the pitch, where's the goal going to come from? Even if it had gone to extra time, where was Bayern going to score goals? Very weird tactical decision. And it only works if you see out that last 10 minutes, which statistically you're probably not going to do. Referee's not blown up yet. He's gone into 12 minutes added on. He's going to give a free kick to Bayern. They've still got time. Blaming a manager for a goalkeeping mistake is so childish, says United. Mate, if you want Thomas Tuchel as Man United manager, just say you want Thomas Tuchel as Man United manager. I'm on That's Football. I'm not talking about Man United. I'm watching a game of football that's got nothing to do with Man United, and I'm giving you my opinions on this football match. Do you genuinely think I'm spending this show talking about why Thomas Tuchel shouldn't manage Man United? I've watched a game of football where they're 1-0 up, counter-attacking all game, and then he decides to take off Sane and Kane with probably about 15 minutes left, because there was always going to be 10 added on, and he took Kane off with 5 minutes of normal time to go. So, in my opinion, yes, the Neuer mistake makes it 1-1. But at 1-1, you're not out. But what are they going to do at 1-1? They've got no attacking threat anymore. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. We might have another one here. What's the... We might have another one here. Oh no, it was offside, that one. Muller's furious. Didn't look like it was offside. What's going on again? Looked onside. Whoa, they're saying no, offside. I mean, they've got the tech. Basically, long ball hit forward. Looks like 2 Bayern Munich players might be offside. And there goes the final whistle. No. Yes. No. Throw in. I'm a bit confused here. I'm a bit confused here. I think what happened is the ball goes forward. 2 Bayern Munich players are marginally offside. So they're active. But a Real Madrid defender heads it. So what Bayern Munich are trying to say is, but we didn't touch the ball. They headed it. But by the letter of the law, the ball was aimed at those 2 players and they were active. So it is offside, I suppose. I mean, I'd like to see the line. I'd like to see the line. Final whistle's gone. Casper says he blew before anyway. But what did he blow for? It is still boring apart from the comeback in 3 minutes. The game's been pretty boring and Real will have all the help of the ref in the final. Oh, apparently he blew for a foul. Okay. Apparently he blew. Well, at the end of the day, they can't get that wrong. They can't get that wrong. Like, they've got the tech, so they can't have got it wrong. Oh, right, okay. He blew for the offside before the goal, so you can't overturn it. Right. Okay. But aren't they meant to let that go? Offside. Did you not listen what he said? No, I did, mate. But what I'm saying is, I would have thought there would have been some check on the line, and you're meant to play on from an on-field offside in case it's a wrong call. So that's what I was saying. I think that was the confusion. Rio with the hug of failure. Yeah. First trophyless season for Bayern in 12 years. That's significant. Real Madrid, I tell you what, you've got every right to say it's boring. because they win the Champions League on the regular. They've not won it yet. But I tell you what, with different players and different eras, and they're not always the favourite, they find a way. I mean, I will never... Look, I've seen Real Madrid teams win it because they're the best team. When they had Ronaldo, Casemiro, Varane, Ramos, they were the best team in Europe. And I've seen Real Madrid teams win it because they're the best team. But when they won it a couple of years ago and they knocked everybody out along the way, they weren't the best team. They were probably the 5th best team in the tournament. And they just found a way. And you can criticise Real Madrid, you can respect Real Madrid. But whether they're best team or they're not the best team, they've just got this amazing ability to find a way. Find a way. Mark says, how can anyone like Madrid? They are disrespectful, grimacing and diving. Do you think we can get Ancelotti for the right amount of money? This says Chiri. I'd love Ancelotti at Manchester United if we sack Ten Hag, but it won't happen. There's a lot of blowing going on. And Cole says it's not robbed because Bayern got 4 extra minutes. I mean, he did play about 15 minutes instead of 9, which is a fair point. Stuart says, absolute calamity of a ref decision at the end, further exposing the uselessness of VAR. Linesman blew offside, so they weren't able to view it, says Stuart. And he blew before it anyway, says Casper. Well, look, I will say in fairness, they shouldn't be blowing before. You're meant to... look, from what I saw, long ball from Bayern Munich, looks like 2 Bayern Munich players are marginally offside and active. Real Madrid player wins the header and then De Ligt hits it in. You shouldn't be blowing the whistle that quick. The whole point of offside is that you're meant to let it play through in case a mistake is made. So if they've blown it and VAR can't review it, that's really harsh on Bayern Munich. However, what I would like to see is, were they offside? Because I think they were offside anyway. And if they were offside anyway, then they've not been robbed. It's just, you know, they should have waited. But I think they're both offside. But, you know. Scenes when they release the footage later. Well, that's what we've got to wait for, Casper, because if they were onside, it's a technical mistake. It really is. But look, if I was a Bayern Munich fan, I'd be gutted. I think that realistically, looking back at it, Manuel Neuer was probably man of the match and then he made a mistake. And at 1-1, because of the substitutions, they've got nothing. They've got no Kane. They've got no Sane. And they can't respond to that because they can't. They've got no Harry Kane. They've got no Sane. They went. It's a risk. I've seen managers do it before. You basically just, you got your 1 goal, and with 15 minutes to go, you just say, let's park the bus and hold on to this. But the problem is, if they score, you need to be able to react to that, and they just didn't have that. Yeah, it will be Bayern Munich out, and it will be Dortmund against Real Madrid at Wembley, and it will be the Bellingham final. He's on the telly now talking. The Bellingham final, his former club against his new club at Wembley. The English effect. It could have been Harry Kane with Bayern Munich. I'm sure Harry Kane will be gutted, and maybe he was carrying an injury. I don't know, but it's going to be. I think it's going to be a good final. I think Dortmund will look at the way that Bayern Munich played and say, well, look, there's no reason why we can't get at this Real Madrid side. I think this Real Madrid side can be got at. They've got immense self-belief, of course, which you have when you wear that shirt. I think they will be favourites in the final, but I'd give Dortmund a chance as well. I think it's going to be interesting. A lot of people saying that they were robbed. Look, at the end of the day, we'll find out whether they were robbed. They were robbed of extra time. They weren't robbed of the game. Like it would, if the goal would have gone in, it would have gone to extra time. Real Madrid were the better team in this game, and I think if you asked Thomas Tuchel, he'd make different decisions. If you asked Manuel Neuer, he'd definitely catch that. It's fine margins in football, isn't it? Real Madrid go through again. Yeah. Thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget your Bayern Munich have finished that video. After this is Parker. Oh, I couldn't give a shit about that. Look, it's been a really good watch along. Thanks everyone for tuning in. You're absolute legends. Make sure to check out tomorrow when we got our Premier League team of the season, squad of the season, whatever you want to call it, coming out for that. And we'll speak to you all in a bit. Take care, everyone. Speak to you in a bit.